Come with me to learn the secret life of trees. Hi, I'm Pierre Quercus. That's Quercus as in oak. I'm from a long line of mighty oak trees. Under every tree is a great root system. Roots have three functions: support, storage, and nutrient pickup. Roots are not deep. Most roots are found in the top 18 to 25 inches of soil. Think about tall buildings. To keep them from falling over, they have very deep foundations in the ground. Roots are the foundation for trees, but instead of growing deep into the ground to support the tree, they extend out beyond the branches and are shallow in comparison to a foundation on a building. The roots are shallow because there is lots of oxygen available at shallow levels, and tree roots need oxygen for the tree to grow. Do you know how deep 25 inches is? That is as deep as stacking 5 pop cans on top of each other. Move the mouse to put each can on top of each other. 10 inches, 15 inches, 20 inches, 25 inches. Which tree shows how roots really grow? Click on the tree that shows. You're right. Trees have a far-reaching root system, usually twice as far as the longest branch in all directions. This helps keep them from falling over. You could test how this works yourself. If you stand with your feet together and a friend pushes you from the side, you will fall over. If you stand with your feet apart, at least shoulder width, and a friend tries to push you from the side, you won't fall over. And if you spread your feet farther apart, it's much more difficult to make you fall over. The big fat roots at the base of the trunk store food for the tree. It's like a savings account. When the tree needs food during stressful times, like hot, dry conditions, the food is available. Water and nutrients are picked up from the soil from very tiny roots that look like fuzzies. They're called hair roots. They give the root a better chance to absorb more water and nutrients. The functions of a tree root system are food storage, support, nutrient pickup. Check your answers. Good job! You now know what roots do. Select the letters on the combination lock to unlock the next secret. Here are 3 clues to help you find the combination. Clue 1. Quercus is 1. Clue 2. Grows in parks. Clue 3. produces shade. Select the letters now to unlock the secret. Good job! You have unlocked the first secret of trees. Now, let's look at another secret. The trunk. The trunk and branches do many important things. A tree trunk has many parts. On the outside, you see the bark. The bark protects the tree from insects, diseases, and injuries. Click on the trunk to peel the layers. The inner bark, or phloem, carries food from the leaves to other parts of the tree. The food can be used for tree growth or stored for later use. Phloem is a light brown, paper-thin layer. The next layer is the cambium, which is a very active layer of cells. These cells change into either phloem or will produce xylem. Phloem eventually turns into bark, and xylem into heartwood. Look! We have found the xylem. It's also called sapwood and carries water and nutrients from the roots up to the leaves. Heartwood is old xylem cells plugged up with chemical substances. Heartwood has no living cells and does not conduct food or water. But it is very important because it gives the tree strength. It acts like a steel beam in a building. Now, it's your turn to build a tree trunk. Click and drag the parts of the trunk to the right spot. Good job! Bark can be very rough with deep grooves, or it can be smooth. A birch or beech tree has smooth bark. An oak or cottonwood tree has rough bark. Touch a tree to see how it feels. Each year, the cambium layer grows new wood just inside the bark to add a new annual ring to the tree. The distances between annual rings are not all the same. This is because growing conditions change each year. The better the growing conditions, the greater the distance between the rings. The center of the tree is old xylem cells. It's called heartwood and is used for structural support. Hollow trees are able to remain alive, but are not very strong, because heartwood is not needed to move food and water. The heartwood is important in adding strength to the tree. Hollow trees are more likely to break during storms. Trees with heartwood just bend a little. Trees without it can break or fall over. Do you think branches are only for swinging? No, they do a lot more. Branches are extensions of the trunk. They are where you will find buds. Buds are future leaves, and leaves are food factories for the tree. Let's look closer. Leaves and all green plants have chlorophyll. The raw materials of carbon dioxide and water, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, are changed into sugars or food for the tree. The process is called photosynthesis. While making the food, leaves also make and give off oxygen, which is used by animals and people. Click here to watch the magic of photosynthesis. Chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, food, oxygen. When all things come together, the process of photosynthesis takes place and food is made. All green things do not have chlorophyll. Green frogs can't make their own food, even though they are green. It's not easy being green. Once the food is made, what happens? The food is made in the leaves and then moves through the leaves' veins through the stem to the phloem, where it's transported to parts of the tree for growth. Or the food goes to parts of the tree where it is stored for future use. The 4 seasons of tree growth. In areas of the world with seasonal changes, trees only grow part of the year. In areas of the world where weather is warm year-round, tree growth may be controlled by wet and dry seasons. There are 4 seasons of tree growth: winter, spring, summer, fall. In winter, a tree looks dead, but it's not. It's just dormant. During this time, a tree is able to stand the extreme cold temperature of the winter and is not hurt. Tree growth in spring starts when it's still very cool. The amount of heat needed to start growth varies from tree to tree. Some trees, like willows, will start growing when it is still very cool. Other trees, like locust and oak, wait until the weather is much warmer. Tree growth is fast for 6 to 8 weeks. Growth continues throughout the summer, but is often slowed down when it becomes hot and dry. Warm days and cool nights in the fall cause changes. This happens because the chlorophyll breaks down and the leaves' true colors appear. During the growing season, there is so much chlorophyll that it hides the leaves' true colors. Temperature, moisture, and shortening of the days are responsible for the colors you see in fall. The stem where the leaf joins the branch is called the petiole. In the fall, a group of cells forms to make a scab-like area that causes the leaf to fall off. What is left on the branch is an area called a leaf scar. Leaf scars are fun to look at. Some leaf scars have real personalities. They are also a good way to identify trees in the winter. Each tree has its own distinctive leaf scar. Here are just a few. Collect a few of your own and describe them. What good is a tree to you and me? Click on an area of the tree and see for yourself. Provides homes to wildlife. Makes soil. More. Reduces noise pollution. Produces oxygen. More. Prevents soil erosion. Reduces air pollution. Looks great. Another. Provides cool shade. Freshens the air. One more. Cools the air. It's unbelievable how many ways a tree helps us. Trees give us many things that we use and need. Click on an area of the tree and see for yourself. Find another. There's more. Find another. There's more. Find another. There's more. Find another. There's one more.
How big is a cord of wood?
A pile of logs that is 8 feet long, 4 feet high, and 4 feet wide is called a cord. One cord can make 7,500,000 toothpicks or 942 one-pound books or 2,700 copies of the average daily newspaper or 4,384,000 postage stamps. Trees are our friends. How do we care for trees? Trees are a renewable resource. That means, in order for us to have trees, we have to plant them and take care of them. Here are things you can do. Let's try some tender, loving tree care. That's TLTC. Water young trees during times of dryness. Remember, overwatering can hurt trees. Here's some basic bark respect. Respect and don't injure the bark of a tree. It is protecting the tree from insects and diseases. Carving your initials in the tree trunk hurts the bark and lets in insects and diseases. Don't chain your bike or dog to the tree. It might injure the bark. When mowing the lawn, try not to bump the tree trunk. Don't nail things to a tree or hit it with a baseball bat. It can hurt trees. Hanging on branches of young trees can break them. As the tree gets older, it gets stronger. Then you can play on it without hurting it. Don't you agree? Trees are wonderful.
The end.